What's good, guys? It's TSG. In today's video, I'm going to be answering the question, is Illuvium a pay-to-win game? The tricky thing is, the answer is both yes and a no. And now you might be asking,
How is that possible, TSG? How can Illuvium be both pay to win and not pay to win?
so the interesting thing is that there are actually multiple game modes in Illuvium. So let's start with the no. The first thing that's really important is to know that Illuvium is actually a free-to-play game. And to actually get involved in the game, it doesn't cost you a thing. In this free-to-play experience, you're actually able to explore the entirety of the game just in a more limited format. So you're actually able to explore all 7 regions in their tier 0, their free-to-play stage. What that means is you're able to go and travel into them for free. You're able to capture alluvials for free. These alluvials will be set. There are going to be 25 free tier 0 alluvials that all free-to-play players are going to have access to. This free-to-play experience means you're able to explore 7 of the regions in their free-to-play stage, plus get access to 75 alluvials that are tier 0 or free-to-play. So you're going to have 25 different alluvials and their evolutions or their fusions 3 stages up, meaning 75 alluvials. Keeping this in mind, that means you're actually getting a pretty extensive version of the game, even in its free-to-play format. And the cool thing with these tier 0 alluvials is that they're actually viable to play against someone. Yes, when you're playing a top tier level, that's not going to be enough. You will need to get some more, but for the most part, most beginners and most people coming into it, you're going to have a good time playing it, as it's going to give you a pretty wide variety of things you can do, synergies you can build. It does actually mean that you have a pretty decent experience playing the game as a free-to-play player. The next thing that I want to talk about, and it's very important to do so, are the 2 PvP arenas. And I say 2 because there is a major difference between it. And this is the difference between having it pay to win and not pay to win. So let's start with the Ascendant Arena. The Ascendant Arena is the PvP arena where we're able to battle, but the stats of the alluvials are balanced. So for example, let's look at these guys up here, and let's say I've got this, let me get it. There you go, Pikachu. Let's say we've got this Pikachu together. I've got a Pikachu and you have got a Pikachu. If we were to use that to battle in the Ascendant Arena, it would be balanced. It doesn't matter if mine has a higher HP, yours has a higher defense. None of that matters. It's all balanced, completely balanced. So technically, there is no pay to win here because it doesn't matter what you have. It's all based on strategy and placement. It doesn't matter which character is technically stronger. Also, having something like a Squirtle in the Ascendant Arena actually means you're able to play the Squirtle, the Wartortle, and the Blastoise. And yes, I know I'm using Pokemon as an example, but that's just because they're right here. But essentially, if you have an Atlas, you're able to play all 3 of its different stages, meaning you don't need to go out and spend so much time to capture an Axon. You don't need to go out and spend so much time and money to capture an Axodon. If you can capture the base alluvial, you can play the entire set. With this in mind, this isn't completely a free-to-play experience. You are now starting to have to pay. But the way I look at it is the same way that you're opening a pack of cards. You can't play Pokemon cards without even purchasing a pack of cards. And that's what we have here. You might need to go out, pay for a couple of loops to come back with your packs of cards, create your deck. And once you're done with that, you can play for the rest of time without having to add more on top of that. Are you going to be completely viable at the top tier? Probably not, but you are able to play it as extensively as you want. And in the Ascendant Arena, like I mentioned, you're going to have the balanced stats and you can play the entire thing. So it isn't a pay to win. You can play with what you have and still have a very, very good experience in that. You're not being disadvantaged in any way at all. Now we move on to the second PvP arena, and that is the Leviathan Arena. And this is absolutely pay to win. Without a doubt, there's no hiding it. There's no sugarcoating it. This is for the big boys. This is for the whales. This is the pay to win arena. In this arena, everything I said about Ascendant, throw it out the window. It's completely useless. In this arena, your stats matter. If we both have a Ramfire and my Ramfire does more damage than yours, it has a higher attack strength, that is going to play a part in this battle. If my Alluvial has a higher defense than yours, that is going to play a part. This is where I can see the competitive players spending a truckload trying to get the perfect statted alluvials. The same way we have competitive players in Pokemon working hard to get their perfect EV and IV Pokemon for battles, I can see the exact same thing happening here with Illuvium. The other thing about being able to play all 3 stages, again, gone. If you wanted to play a stage 3 Ramfire, you need all the Ramfies to fuse it to a Ramfight, to fuse it into a Ramfire. There's no shortcutting it.
Oh, but I have a RAM fee.
Nada. You need to get the RAM file. With taking that into consideration, this Leviathan arena 100% is a pay to win. Doesn't mean that you need to pay, man, maybe not. Perhaps you're just a genius and your understanding the game is so next level that you're able to just outmatch these guys even without the perfect deck, which honestly I can imagine happening. I can imagine some whales that aren't good at the game trying to purchase the best things, and you have this nerd who's just like keyboard warrior smashing this game out, being able to actually beat them like that. So it makes for good viewing. Personally, I'm actually really looking forward to the Leviathan arena. I think it's going to add a whole nother level of competitive to it. The fact that your deck actually matters, that you're not able to just play any stage, it actually matters what you have and all the time and effort that you commit to the game. I think that's really cool. But I also understand and I also can imagine that the Ascendant Arena is going to be very, very important for us that just wants to play the game and have a bit of a good time. So there you have it, guys. The three main modes right here. We've got our free-to-play mode, our simple Ascendant Arena, which is absolutely not pay to win. And then you've got our Leviathan Arena, which absolutely is a pay to win. So for anyone that is asking the question, is this a pay to win game? As I mentioned at the start of the video, the answer to this is both yes and no. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.